Good day or evening, dear participants. In this sixth lecture of Module 2, we are going to focus on integrating information communication technologies in pedagogy and learning. Let us start with introducing this lecture. ICTs are increasingly becoming popular in schools and in particular classrooms, where they are being used by both educators and learners. This is due to the fact that ICTs have the ability to effectively and efficiently process and disseminate information in ways that enhance the teaching and learning experience. Integration of ICTs in education at all levels accelerates and improves any country's educational growth, according to Eze and Igioma in 2016. ICTs have the ability to provide pupils with a learner-centered environment, as well as opportunities for pupils to make decisions and improve their analytical thinking skills. ICTs also provide opportunities for pupils to create new knowledge, to interpret, to synthesize, and evaluate data and learning materials. Opportunities to build new knowledge, analyze, synthesize, and review data and learning materials are also provided, as Fu argued in 2013. The integration of ICT tools in education implies using them as tools that facilitate learning, as well as the sharing of knowledge between educators and learners and amongst learners themselves, thus creating an enabling environment that allows the reaching of the goal of learning in a more significant and excellent way. In addition, ICTs assist learners in solving a variety of questions and enable them to learn through experimentation and investigation. Research has also shown that there is a positive correlation between using ICTs and an enhanced learning process, according to Al-Ansi and Fatmawati in 2023. There are three main ways of using ICTs that are highly valued and regarded by teachers. 1. Integration. 2. Enhancement. And 3. Complementary use, according to Hermans in 2008. The three ways can be explained as follows. 1. Integration is the process of implementing the right use of ICTs in particular subject areas that require the understanding of certain concepts and skills to improve students' achievement and attainment. To be able to achieve this integration, the curriculum requires undergoing some review process so that only related ICT resources and appropriate software will be installed for the main aims and objectives of curriculum to be achieved. 2. The enhancement approach is where ICTs are being used to give great emphasis on the introduced topic. For example, presentation software can be used to present the topic innovatively and creatively, which will lead to discussion and exchanging ideas and thoughts. 3. The complementary approach is used when ICTs are used to assist and support the learner's learning. This approach allows learners to be more organized and efficient in their learning process. For example, they can take notes from the internet, submit their assignment through electronic means such as emails, and look for information from various sources on the internet to fulfill the assignment given to them. What do you think about this question? How should ICT be used in the teaching and learning process so that it contributes to the learning of the student? This is an important question. The answers given to this question may vary according to the point of view on integration. Take note that these points of view are generally taken in two groups. The first is the technological point of view, which supports the integration of technological infrastructures and systems into the educational environment. The second is the pedagogical point of view, which supports the integration of ICT materials and programs in terms of social constructivist learning principles. The convergence of pedagogical and technological points of view supports effective connections between suitable technology for content and pedagogical principles to design learning environments. Accordingly, teachers need to know why and how to use ICT applications and resources. That is why it is stated that the effective use of ICT in lessons depends on the awareness of teachers of the potential of ICT in teaching and learning processes, of appropriate selection of materials for their students, of effective contemplation of their lessons, and of carrying out class management rules while overcoming the difficulties encountered during lessons in which technology-supported learning environment, as Bandhana argued in 2012. Let us now get a discussion about ICT integration frameworks, combining traditional learning theories such as constructivism, cognitivism, and behaviorism, with contemporary theories such as connectivism, has given birth to ICT integration models or frameworks. Models or frameworks can be used as a type of schema to help mentally align to a particular pedagogical approach. Alternatively, they can be used directly to help guide the design of a learning activity or course, and to help guide design decisions about what kinds of learning activities would be appropriate to promote the pedagogical approach instantiated in the model or framework. They can be used to guide the development of a learning environment, or they can be used as direct representations to the students to help guide their learning process, or as analytic or descriptive tools to describe practice as argued by Connell in 2010. In this lecture, we take a look at the 3 pieces of knowledge that every educator and teacher should develop in order to be effective in their learning facilitation. Here, I mean the Technological Pedagogical Content Knowledge, TPAC, model. The TPAC model attempts to identify the nature of knowledge required by teachers for technology integration in their teaching, while addressing the complex, multifaceted, and situated nature of teacher knowledge. Look at the following figure that shows the TPAC framework. At the heart of the TPAC framework is the complex interplay of 3 primary forms of knowledge: content, CK, pedagogy, PK, and technology, TK. The TPAC approach goes beyond seeing these 3 knowledge bases in isolation. The TPAC framework goes further by emphasizing the kinds of knowledge that lie at the intersections between 3 primary forms: pedagogical content knowledge, PCK, technological content knowledge, TCK, and technological pedagogical knowledge, TPK, that merge into technological pedagogical content knowledge, TPAC. Let us briefly explore these 3 types of knowledge and the different combinations of each. 1. Content knowledge, CK. Teachers' knowledge about the subject matter to be learned or taught. This knowledge would include knowledge of certain concepts, theories, ideas, organizational frameworks, knowledge of evidence and proof, as well as established practices and approaches toward developing such knowledge. This knowledge is linked to the specialization teachers received from their higher education studies in a specific domain field. 2. Pedagogical knowledge, PK. Teachers' deep knowledge about the processes and practices or methods of teaching and learning. They encompass, among other things, overall educational purposes, values, and aims. This generic form of knowledge applies to understanding how students learn, general classroom management skills, lesson planning, and student assessment. 3. Technology knowledge, TK. Knowledge about certain ways of thinking and working with technology, tools, and resources. This includes understanding information technology broadly enough to apply it productively at work and in everyday life, being able to recognize when information technology can assist or impede the achievement of a goal, and being able to continually adapt to changes in information technology. 4. Pedagogical content knowledge, PCK. PCK is the notion of the transformation of the subject matter for teaching. Specifically, this transformation occurs as the teacher interprets the subject matter, finds multiple ways to represent it, and adapts and tailors the instructional materials to alternative conceptions and students' prior knowledge. PCK covers the core business of teaching, learning, curriculum, assessment, and reporting, such as the conditions that promote learning and the links among curriculum, assessment, and pedagogy. 5. Technological content knowledge, TCK, an understanding of the manner in which technology and content influence and constrain one another. Teachers need to master more than the subject matter they teach. They must also have a deep understanding of the manner in which the subject matter, or the kinds of representations that can be constructed, can be changed by the application of particular technologies. Teachers need to understand which specific technologies are best suited for addressing subject matter learning in their domains, and how the content dictates or perhaps even changes the technology, or vice versa. 6. Technological pedagogical knowledge, TPK, an understanding of how teaching and learning can change when particular technologies are used in particular ways. This includes knowing the pedagogical affordances and constraints of a range of technological tools as they relate to disciplinarily and developmentally appropriate pedagogical designs and strategies. 7. Technological, pedagogical content knowledge, TPAC. Underlying truly meaningful and deeply skilled teaching with technology, TPAC is different from knowledge of all three concepts individually. Instead, TPAC is the basis of effective teaching with technology, requiring an understanding of the representation of concepts using technologies. Pedagogical techniques that use technologies in constructive ways to teach content. Knowledge of what makes concepts difficult or easy to learn. And also how technology can help redress some of the problems that students face. Knowledge of students' prior knowledge and theories of epistemology, and knowledge of how technologies can be used to build on existing knowledge to develop new epistemologies or strengthen old ones, as Kohler and Mishra argued in 2009. Let us now discuss the systematic planning for the use of ICTs in class. The use of ICTs in class effectively requires a systematic plan for their use. The utilization of the Assure model as a guide is suggested, which identifies 6 major steps in an instructional planning process. The Assure model is 1. A procedural guide for planning and delivering instruction that integrates technology and media into the teaching process. 2. A systematic approach to writing lesson plans. 3. A plan used to help teachers organize instructional procedures. 4. A plan used to help teachers do an authentic assessment of student learning. 5. A model that can be used by all presenters. Let us now describe Assure and identify what it stands for. Assure is made of 6 characters, and each can be described as follows. 1. A stands for Analyze Learners. Identify your learners' expectations, goals, preferences, and needs so that you can create a blended learning strategy that offers them real-world benefits. 2. S stands for State Goals and Objectives. Determine the objectives for your blended learning course, including performance goals. These goals and objectives should clearly state what the learner will be able to do once they complete the class. 3. S stands for Select Methods and Media. Choose online learning content, multimedia, both online and classroom exercises and materials that will serve your training goals and objectives. This may also pertain to modifying current training content in order to meet the changing needs of your audience. 4. U stands for Utilize Media and Technology. After choosing the online training content and materials, e-learning professionals must then decide how they are going to utilize these tech tools and online resources most effectively. 5. R stands for Require Learner Participation. Determine how you can engage learners to encourage them to actively participate in the blended training experience. 6. E stands for Evaluate and revise the blended learning strategy. All e-learning strategies are a work in progress due to the fact that technology and learner needs are always evolving. Thus, the final step in the Assure model is to evaluate and revise your blended learning strategy to ensure that it is as beneficial as possible. To effectively integrate ICT in education, it is imperative that more training and professional development programs should be provided by schools for their educators to be more prepared and equipped on the ICT integration in education and further unfold their ICT integration practices in teaching according to Hero in 2020. I am proposing the reading of 2 case studies from 2 ICT integration projects for the purpose of analysis and comparison. Read and study each one. 1. ICT integration in the educational system of Philippines. Queenie Per Tomaro and Daya Mutiaran. 2. Sustaining successful ICT integration in remote rural schools at Elenita Natalio K. Take note that the links to access these 2 articles are given in this module. After reading these 2 case studies, let us now reflect. We explored the way ICTs can be integrated into teaching, learning, and assessment. We also discussed different types of knowledge that every educator and teacher should develop to effectively empower learners to enhance their learning experiences. At this stage, what questions should we start asking ourselves, taking into consideration the 2 case studies? What comes to my immediate thinking is, 1. What are the common and distinct elements of these ICT integration projects? 2. What does each project emphasize? 3. What components are relevant, irrelevant in your context? Reflect in writing on these 3 questions using the Gibbs Reflective Cycle Guide, which will be shared with you in this module. Compile your reflection in the e-journal available within the e-learning platform in use in this self-paced online course. Share your reflections with your colleagues at work, and also share them on the Community of Practice platform, which will be shared with you. In conclusion, this lecture has discussed the importance and benefits of integrating ICTs in pedagogy and learning, and the challenges and opportunities that educators face in doing so. It has also introduced the TPACK model as a framework for developing the knowledge and skills needed to use ICTs effectively in teaching and learning. Furthermore, it has presented the Assure model as a guide for planning and delivering instruction that integrates technology and media into the teaching process. Finally, it has suggested 2 case studies of ICT integration projects in different contexts for further reading and reflection. The aim of this lecture is to inspire and motivate educators to explore the potential of ICTs in enhancing their teaching and learning practices, and to provide them with some tools and resources to support their ICT integration journey. If you have any questions or challenges with any of the concepts discussed in this lecture, please use the discussion forum of Module 2 under Lecture 6 to pose questions and answer other participants' questions as well. Thank you for your attention.